You know what I mean? It's like people choose to like only study what they want to learn. You know,
Mm-hmm.
study. They don't want to expand, or they don't want to see other people's culture or cultural background and see why. Well, I try to study everything, and then if you see there's only one truth, when you really start studying everything, you see it all leads up to one truth,
Right.
and it all leads back here, yeah. But
And, and knowledge is supposed to be presented. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the reasons why why I like Mayo too, because he present his knowledge. I put it out there. It's up for critique. It's up for. I'm not going to tell you, and I'm not going to force feed it, and I'm not going to make you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to make you believe it, or you're some type of agent or something. You know what I'm saying? This is and you're not the only one. You know what I'm saying? Everyone do that also. He present his knowledge, but sometimes he do get a little aggressive, like, bro, if you don't believe my shit, I'm breaking your neck. You know what I'm saying? So Cheap do that a little bit too. You know what I'm saying? A little bit, and maybe I might be a little bit like that too. But that's kind of how we is sometimes. But yeah, the information is supposed to be presented to the people. It is not supposed to be. Everybody needs to say this. Everybody needs to do this. Everybody needs to believe it. If you don't believe this, you're an enemy. You
yeah, I
know.
just think I just think it's a problem. Like if you're you have a lot of you have a large following, right? And people look up to you and everything. And if you're using dark skin as more, you know what I mean? That's just totally off. That's You're just confusing people to understand this stuff. So you're saying the
Well,
Moorish Roman this, and
well,
then
well,
the and
well, well. See, you gotta be able to respect his. If that's his understanding, you got to respect that. You know what I'm
I
saying? If that's
respect
somebody's,
it, bro. But if he says it
but you
like it's
don't need to
fact,
agree with it though. That's
no, no, no. What I'm saying is there's people that don't study. So when he's saying it, they believe him. They're just hearing, oh yeah, he's more. These are Moors. The Romans were Moors. These are Moors, and everybody's a Moor. And then I asked him, "What you talking about dark skin complexion?" He's like, "Yeah." So he's not talking about a nationality. He's not talking about what Drew Ali's talking about.
right. He
And that's the
stated that.
thing.
He stated that
I
days
know, but
ago.
you can't separate those two. Whatever
What
you want
What do
to
you mean?
interpret it as, Drew Ali was very clear.
I
Drew
know,
Ali was
but
very clear, man. And we're not talking. If you're gonna talk about a dark skinned person, you can't just always use the word more, because then people have a certain uh,
perspective.
perspective of
Yep.
what they think a more is. So
Yep.
then you just confusing everybody, man.
Yeah, and I can't get this out of my head. When people think of more, the first thing I think of is that dude on Sarnetta with a fez and a dashiki. Dude came on there. I don't know who that is,
Oh
but
damn.
dude came on there. He had a dashiki and he had a fez on, and he was talking. I forgot who he was talking to. For some reason, that image always pop in my head, and that's what Amore is to me. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I know it's more than that. I know it's more than that. I got enough, sense to know it's more than that. But that always pops up, and everybody have something else who they pop up that pops up when you say everybody got something different. To so it is hard. It is hard. You know what I'm saying?
So another, so there's a lot of statements that gets made, right? And there's never no sources, right? A lot of statements get made. People like listen to it, they believe it, and then they leave it like that, and then you run to the next topic and never address that. So first of all, it wasn't just Christians coming over here. That's false. And when you say that like it's fact, you're doing the same thing they did to us when they were writing the textbooks. Because then you're leaving a whole history out. You're leaving a whole people who was involved too. I got the journals from Columbus, and I got all these journals from the Spaniards and stuff. They're handwritten accounts, first-hand accounts, and they tell you straight out who they're coming with and who they're bringing along. I've put it in my videos. People's ignoring all that. But, you know, I mean, so and also, when you go into Islam and all that, that's deep, man. It goes really deep. Um, you're gonna see that it goes back to the Vatican. Lotus knows I ain't lying. And then when we're talking about Vatican, who are we really talking about? You guys know Genghis Khan's brother was named Batu Khan.
Oh yeah.
So I mean,
I
so I
didn't know
mean,
that. I'm go ahead. Go. I'm gonna go ahead and head out. Peace to the chat. But go ahead. Keep spitting that knowledge, Curry Mayo. Peace, Lotus, man. You get your channel up. Hey, Curry Mayo, you going on my network, bros. Lotus, leave him alone. I'm good.
He
Nah,
said
peace. Nah, peace, y'all.
have a
Peace,
battle
y'all.
royal for Corey Mayo and shit.
Nah, peace though. Peace, Corey Mayo. Go ahead, kick that knowledge. I'm listening.
No, I'm just saying, I don't just make statements. I gotta actually really show the info. So those are videos that are coming up, but these things take time because there's a lot of overstanding that needs to be, get done. And a lot of people, it's hard to mix the two up. They think it's two different things, but it's not. I mean, there's certain people made a confederate, they created organizations, and this was the last empire to conquer, and that's what they did, man. This was the last empire they came to conquer. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. I show the Great Seal. I show them talking about their Great Seal and how it's made by them, and they're doing treaties, and it's one people with the Albions and Europeans and Christians. Then you're separating it. But the truth is, your history, your own Moorish history, telling you straight up, it's one. They're the government. They're the corporation. They are the citizens of the USA. It's in their ID cards.
man, it's key and important. Yeah, when it comes to the Quran, Islam, and Muslim, I would be the most biased against it that you might even meet. I cannot stand the Quran, the history behind it, Islam, and for good reason. I've caught hell. I went on Lex Vortex channel a couple of years ago, and I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. Man, they gave him all kind of fatwas, threatening him. You better not have Lotus on there talking about the Quran or any of this stuff again. And they tried to get him to combat me on it, and he was trying to dig. I was like, "Oh, you want to combat me on it? Okay." And it went the wrong way. Lex was like, "Oh hell no, bro, we can't talk about this no more."
Yeah, well,
But,
that's the thing. I mean, I don't
mm-hmm.
hate, I don't hate Islam. I don't hate Muslim or anything like that, man. I'm just trying to set records straight. You know what I mean?
That's right.
If you really go into research and study, you see there's a beginning and an origin to everything. All right, and these people always didn't have the best interests when they were creating these things or doing these things. Now, if you study Muhammad's wife, Khadija, if you really go and study her, you see that she was Catholic. She financed like Muhammad. Like she's coming from the Vatican, and that's facts. Anybody can go research that. So I mean, I'm just giving you that as a like a lead. I mean, but you gotta do your own research. You can't just wait for me to do videos. And when I say certain things, I try not to actually say things on the live because I want to show the info. I'm not gonna pull up a Wiki article and just kind of try to influence your thoughts just because somebody edited a Wikipedia article. That was probably more who did that. I mean, there's no other. I have all the Spanish accounts of these books. Yeah, and they'll say, yeah, it looks like Andalusia, but they also say it looks like Japan. It looks like this. They don't just say Andalusia. They're telling you it's civilized. They're telling you that they are surprised at this architecture, this high civilization here. That's all they were saying. And they don't say it's like, they say it's even grander. See, the thing is, you got to read the exact words. They're not saying it's like, they're saying it's grandeur, more grandeur than what they have in Andalusia. And Andalusia is where Columbus left from. That was a big Moorish town. So you got to understand, 1492, you got the Jews, so-called Muslims, being kicked out if they didn't convert to Christianity. This is 3 months or 3 to 4 months before Columbus came. I mean, just put two and two together. So you got all these people being kicked out, and then all of a sudden Columbus comes. And why did Columbus get here? How did he know the knowledge to get here? We all know it wasn't, no, he didn't get lost. That's a story. We know he was coming. He knew where he was going. He had inside information because of his Moorish connections. I'm not gonna lie, they were here, and I've been trying to show that in the video. They were here. This is the true old world. So it's not like if they find Phoenician writing over here, it's because they came over here. Not because they were over here. You know. So you they leave out all that other stuff. Like the Los Lunas stones in New Mexico and everything, the Paleo Hebrew and all that. And I'm not advocating any religion. I'm not ever saying we're all Hebrews, we're all Muslims, we're all Moors. I'm not saying none of that. You have to look into your personal genealogy, your personal life, and your nature. If you you feel like you're more and you relate to what Joel is saying, you might be a Moabite, Canaanite, just like Lex Vortex is calling himself a Canaanite. Maybe that is his nature. I'm not gonna fight that with him. You understand? So maybe that is his nature. Maybe he is a Canaanite. So I'm not gonna fight with him over that. You know what I mean? It's silly to actually pretend to debate with somebody who really don't do research, man. Like it's a waste of time. And it's just like we got rude words, just insulting me, calling me a devil and stuff. It's just like a comedy to you guys. I don't know. It's like you guys like that stuff and all that. I mean, I don't care, man. If dude got issues in his head or he's bipolar or whatever, I don't know, man. That's his problem, man. I don't know him. He don't know me. But I never came at him anyway personally, so I don't know why he comes at me. But it's just, that's the kind of nature I see. I see a pattern with a lot of Moors. They all kind of act like that. So I look at it like maybe that is their nature. When you go back into scripture, you see that there's some kind of beef there between Israelites and Moabites and Canaanites. Is that just a story? Is that just a Bible story? But then I'm seeing traditions, right, written down about the Israelites, how they act and how they do in their ceremonies and stuff. And then I see it in my culture. I see it with my people. I see it, and they never call themselves Hebrews, but they're doing the exact same things that described in that Bible. So who's the real people they're describing? You know? So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying go read the Bible and believe everything and just be a Hebrew. Now I'm just saying, look, there's certain things that they put in this book that really actually happened. There's real events. These things really happened, and they wrote it allegorically. They wrote it religiously, whatever they did, but it really did happen. They messed up the chronologies. They put our people back in BC times. You know what I mean? Then they created the Dark Ages and all that. That's those all that is all made up. You really got to study history. You got to see who really wrote chronology. It was two, three people that really had their hands in it. And this was in the 15, 1600s when they started saying how we're going to write chronology, how we're going to break this down to people. You know what I mean? So that's the stuff I'm taking. That's where I'm going with my videos. It's just going to get deeper and deeper. While everybody's just keep talking about the same thing over and over, it's just going to get deeper and deeper because the seals are open right now. We have the information out now. We didn't have access to any of this information, and only a few people had access to the information due to their connections with secret societies or whatever. And they had certain information that we didn't have, even though that was like watered down. It was taught as a doctrine. It's like knowledge given to you, but it's given to you as a doctrine with one perspective, right? So when Drew Ali says, "Hey, these Canaanites and Moabites and all these got kicked out of Canaan by Joshua," what I mean? Like to a Moor, Joshua's an enemy. You go tell that to a Hebrew, they're gonna like, "What do you mean he's an enemy?" So there's two sides to everything. Is what I'm saying, and this involves all the so-called Indians too, even though they're not. Somebody comes on and say we got our own Bible and everything. I would love to see that. But what I'm trying to say is A1 was kind of right. It was influenced by our books, our teachings, our stories. They created the Bible from us. And then they made it into a religion. They made it almost into a myth, fantasy of people that never existed. But when you go look at for Moabites, right, or Canaanites, you have official history that's real. Like they found the Moabite stone, the mesh of steel, describing King Moab having beef with the Israelites, and this is facts. So if the Moabites existed and they got the steels and everything, then whoever they were calling Israelites must have existed too. Obviously, we didn't call ourselves Israelites, and obviously all of us are not Israelites or of those tribes, because they're saying it's 12 tribes, right? When you read the Quiche Maya books and all that, you'll see, they match everything that's in there. They match a lot. And yeah, so the Mormons call Joshua Quetzalcoatl, so I mean that's what we're getting into. who was really Quetzalcoatl, the plum serpent, right? And yeah, so yeah, I don't want to take over the show, man.
That's amazing. Oh no, you good, you good. Man. That definitely needs to be said, and I'm glad that it's expressed in the manner that you're expressing it. Because you two are so much more powerful together and operate in a peaceful, and balanced input of information. I mean, like look at me, Ty, and Chief. We're on the same road. Well, it's probably a better way I could say this, but on the same road, going down the same path, we just have different cars. One car is best. My car is better for me. Chief Holiday car is better for him. Ty Data car is better for him. But we find a way
Yes.
to ride side by side. The flow and the movement of traffic, it flows better.